Want an easy way to improve your fingerstyle and vamps? Well, then you gotta learn how to slide. In this quick lesson, I'll teach you the technique that's gonna immediately improve your solos and vamp endings. So go grab your uke, tune it up, because I think we're gonna uke. Hey guys, welcome back to I Think I'm Gonna Uke. My name's Tony, and in this lesson, we're gonna learn an essential fingerstyle technique called a slide. Now the concept is fairly simple, but it does take some practice to get it down. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why a lot of other ukulele online teachers, they don't really teach this technique in detail, because I think it sounds really cool and it definitely levels up your ukulele playing, whether you use it in chords or in fingerstyle. So I'm going to teach you the technique, we're going to go through some exercises, and then I'll show you ways to incorporate a slide into fingerstyle vamps and chords. And if you stick around to the end, I'll give you a fun treat, like a mini tutorial on how to accurately play one of the most famous ukulele song intros ever. I hope you caught that, but mainly a slide allows you to play a range of pitch changes between two different notes while strumming and plucking just once. So basically you're playing a tone and then shifting up or down in pitch. So a slide, it is kind of like an extension to a hammer-on technique, which I covered in an earlier video, which by the way, if you haven't seen that one, you might want to check that one out after this one. Usually you just slide 1 or 2 frets or 1 or 2 semitones. And by the way, if you didn't know, the frets on the ukulele, they mark different notes, which are also called semitones or half steps in musical terms. So if I say to slide 1 semitone lower, then you just slide up 1 fret. And if I said to slide 2 half steps down, then that means to slide higher by 2 frets. Now the reason that that's important is because you'll often see slides referenced in ukulele tablature, and they're usually notated with a slur or a slash mark. And that's what that means. And it'll just show you the fret number, so it won't say anything else. But you should know what that means is you start on that first fret number and you end on the second fret number. So if it said slide 3 to 5, that's what that means. If you like learning how to play this wonderful instrument, then you're going to like this channel. So if you could do me a favor and click that like button and subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of other free lessons on tips and techniques to help you improve your ukulele playing. Plus, if you like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps other ukulele players just like you help find these free lessons. Alright, the way you play a note and execute a slide is by holding that note and keeping a constant pressure the whole time as you move your finger from one fret to the next fret. Now, be sure when we're going to try this not to pick up your finger off the fret, and don't try to lessen the pressure to slide, because if you do, otherwise you end up muting or deadening that note. So you should press down just hard enough to have a clear note, but not so hard that you can't move your finger, okay? It shouldn't hurt. If it is, then you're probably pressing down too much, but let's press down just enough where we can still move our finger. So let's try this exercise. First, we're going to place our first finger on the second fret of the G string, which is the A note, and then we're going to pluck the A note, and then we're going to slide down 1 fret. So that's 1 half step higher to A sharp. Alright, so now let's slide from A sharp back up to A, like this. Alright, try this a couple of times. So your finger should be pressed down the entire time, but you should hear that continuous pitch change from A to A sharp, and from A sharp back to A. Alright, let's try sliding 1 fret, but this time let's start on the second fret of the C string. So this is the D note, and we're going to slide 1 fret to D sharp. Alright, now hopefully you can hear that change. Okay, let's hop over to the E string. We're still on the second fret, but the second fret on the E string is an F sharp. So remember, between E and F, there's only 1 half step or 1 fret difference. And between B and C, there's also just 1 half step or 1 fret difference. So we have our open E, F, and F sharp is that second fret. So let's slide from an F sharp to G. Alright, lastly, let's play on the A string, still on the second fret. We're going to slide from a B to a C and then back. This is like finger yoga. I know it feels awkward at first, but it's a very good exercise to loosen up your fingers, to increase the dexterity in your fingers, and it really helps with fingerstyle play. So let's go through the strings again, but this time we're going to slide with our second finger, and we're going to slide 2 frets or 2 half steps. So we're going to start on the G string, plucking the A, we're going to slide it to B and then back to A. Now be sure you're just plucking one time at the beginning of the slide. All right, let's hop down to the C string. So we're going to slide from D to E and then back. All right, now let's hop over to the E string. We're going to slide from F sharp to G sharp. And now finally on the A string, we're going to slide from B to C sharp and back. Most of the time you only slide 1 or 2 frets, so you could use a slide to step up or step down through a scale, like a blues scale, so something like this. You can also use slides for whole chords, which is great for vamp endings. So if you wanted to end a song on a C, let's slide down to B and then back to C. So something kind of like this. You can also use slides during a song when you're playing chords to add some fun flavor. So you hear this a lot in jazz tunes. So let's say you're playing a minor chord, like a C minor, for example. You can slide into it from 1 fret lower, playing a B minor. So something like this. All right, if you stuck around this long, just as I promised in the intro, I'll show you how to use a slide to play one of the most famous ukulele song intros. And I think you'll recognize it right off the bat. You probably recognize the song. It's I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. It has an iconic intro, and it's all based on slides. And now that you know how to do slides, you can play it too. So I'll show you real fast how I play it. For the song I'm Yours, the chord progression is pretty simple. It's a C, G, A minor, and F, but the intro is different. The intro, Jason Mraz actually plays a C5 chord. He slides from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. He holds for 1 beat, slides back down to the 3rd fret, plucks a 2nd time, and then starts playing a C major. And then when it's time to switch to the G, he's actually playing a G sus4 shape, only plucking the first 2 strings again. So if you look at it, a C5 is actually inside the G sus4 shape. So he does the same thing, plucking the first 2 strings, slides from fret 3 to fret 5, and then when he slides back down to fret 3, now he plays a G major. And then right before you play and switch to the A minor, you keep your G major shape. This time we're going to pluck the 2nd and 3rd string. We're going to slide 2 frets from frets 2 and 3 down to frets 4 and 5. But then when we slide back down to fret 2 and 3, we lift off and just pluck the open strings, the 2 and 3 open strings. And then we play our A minor. And then for the F, just for the intro part, there's no slides. It's actually just a hammer-on. So we're just hammering on that E string for 2 hammer-ons. So we're playing an F, but watch my first finger. All right, then we put it all together and it sounds like this. Well, that's it for the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, do give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll put all my social media links in the description box below. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's ways to do that too. All right, well, have fun playing, and God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one.